We start this half hour of midday with continuing breaking news coverage.
A community is in mourning after 6 people were found dead in an apparent murder-suicide in Chesapeake, and we now know the names of the victims and the suspected gunman.
We have live team coverage at the scene where police are still trying to figure out what happened. This is a story 10 on your side started covering last evening as a standoff.
This morning is when police discovered the standoff had turned deadly. 10 on your side's Andy Fox starts off our team coverage with more about what happened. And Andy, you've been speaking with your sources.
Yeah, this is what we've been able to piece together. Now, Chesapeake police have not officially released what happened, but working sources, this is what we can tell you. Earlier, we reported that the father was found at his home. It turns out that it was the brother, Landon, who was found at the first home. After that happened, a friend came to call on Landon, and when he got there, he realized that there was something wrong. Okay, and that was the reason why the police came to that house at 3:30. What we now know is that Cameron then came over to this house, and what he then did was that he killed his grandmother, his mother, his father, his brother, who was already dead, and then he turned the gun on himself. That is what we are finding out, that there's 6 total dead. The brother was killed at the first house. He then comes over here, and when he comes over here, he kills the grandmother. He then kills the mother, the father, and his sister. And then when police confront him over here, he turns the gun on himself. We can also tell you this, that it was very chaotic. It was a long period of time from the first scene to the second scene as they were trying to figure out exactly what was going on. But when they got to the first scene, they started realizing when they started getting more information. And remember, there was about a 3.5, 4-hour difference between the first going to the first house and coming to this house. And then, of course, there was a long standoff and a SWAT situation. And then when they finally entered the home, Cameron was dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, we can also tell you that all the bodies have been sent away for an autopsy, and that they are being told that they continue to investigate this, trying to figure out more of the motive on exactly why this happened. But that's the latest here from Chesapeake. Repeating once again, the brother Landon is found dead in the first home. Cameron then just comes over here and he kills his grandmother, his father, his mother, and his sister before turning the gun on himself. That's the latest from Chesapeake. I'm Andy Fox, 10 on your side.
All right, Andy, this is a story that shook the Chesapeake neighborhood. A lot of you have emailed the Wavington newsroom with things that you have seen and heard.
And we're still working to learn more about the victims. 10 on your side's Jason Marks is live in Chesapeake with that part of the story. Jason, certainly emotional there.
Oh, absolutely. This is just devastating for this community. I talked with a friend of Brooke a short time ago, and he said this is just a complete shock. And that's what I'm trying to do today, just learn more about the victims from the people who they left behind. Now, let me show you some pictures of some of the victims. Let's start off here with Brooke. This is Brooke Dooley. She was a senior at Deep Creek High School, and you can see she's a cheerleader. She died along with her mother, Lori, and her dad, Todd Dooley, who was a former Chesapeake police officer. Also killed was Brooke's grandmother, Doris. According to Doris's Facebook page, she worked at Temple Baptist Church here in Chesapeake, where her husband was a pastor for many years before he passed away several years ago. As we mentioned, this loss is just completely devastating for this community.
It hits Deep Creek hard, but knowing Deep Creek, we're going to be able to get through this. We just have to be able to get away from the sad parts and look at the memories of Brooke and her family, and remember the good things about them, and come together as a community to honor her and her family.
Yeah, it's just really complete shock for this community. As my colleague Andy Fox just mentioned, Brooke's brother Landon was also killed. He was found inside this home behind me yesterday morning. That's when police found him. Also, I can tell you that tonight the family is getting together, the Deep Creek family, I should say, is getting together tonight at Temple Baptist Church at 7 o'clock. They're going to meet in the parking lot and have a vigil to remember all of these lives who were lost. We'll have much more on this story coming up starting on Wavy News 10 at 4. But for now, that's the latest here in Chesapeake. Jason Marks, 10 on your side.